freedom, okay? But I do have a secure hold on them because they have poor balance. They're fat on the middle of their body, right? But then they taper out, and that doesn't give them good climbing balance, like our snakes that are elongated and pretty much consistently the same width. She is strong. She's as strong as they are. I'm going to say that because I'm going to show you the strongest snake in the world. But she's secure right now. Now, I'm going to let you touch her if you choose to, and it's a 2-finger touch, and it's anywhere but her head. What I'll do is I will hold her and keep my hand in such a way that if she starts to move her head, I will steer it back. She's not going to try to bite you, but this is to keep you from touching her head. Do notice, though, take a look at her head and notice the heat pits. These are her night vision. So these snakes are nocturnal because they're from Africa. It's a lot hotter in Africa. And someone said earlier, dry heat. Doesn't matter. Dry heat, wet heat, they are reptiles. They're cold-blooded. So it doesn't make a lot of difference. If it was a human heat, that would be good because the humidity would help them shed, but other than that, it just doesn't matter.
That's why I think I'm cold-blooded because I can't stand dry heat either.
Now, after you do touch her, we have the hand sanitizer that I would encourage you to get your hands clean afterwards. It's just because of reptiles.
You don't
want
like
that?
snakes? I don't like it. That's fine. It's perfectly okay with that.
Now, you see she's wrapped around my wrist. If she was tight around my wrist, I would know that she's not comfortable, and I would get her repositioned, okay? So, this is a traditional ball python. You might see some with slightly different coloring and different patterns, okay? But I like the traditional because that looks like gray aliens to me.
Yeah.
And I just think it's so cool. I bonded with her immediately because of that.
Oh, there you go.
Está más suavecito el Bruno el pelo que
You guys can see what she's doing? So she's stretching out. That's because she's that comfortable. Smelling my armpit. She's hungry. They'll go toward your mouth. This is a very uncomfortable feeling. She will get up near my mouth and just stare and get real still. This is the heat. She's especially sensitive to that heat, and so she's feeling that heat come out of my breath. Plus, I have a smell on my breath. Whether it's coffee or what, it doesn't mean anything to her. She's going to note any smells. There are times
That's
when
how Candy did that because I had one of the snakes on my face and she would lick my nose just because I was talking and she was close to it.
Yeah, she was getting probably, so in their case, they don't have the pits, all right, so they're not as much after the heat, but they all share this characteristic. They have that tongue, that fourth tongue, right? Goes out, picks up particles, brings them back to a Jacobson organ, which is like a little mini brain in their mouth, okay? It's going to tell them about their environment. That's their little mini computer in there. So, you see how docile she is? I just stuck my hand on her head. So, I'm going to right here and let her rest. We don't let them get around our necks. So she starts to get around my neck, she knows she's coming off. If she got stressed out, she's going to get tight. That's how I know she's not stressed yet. She's not around my wrist real tight. My fingers will turn blue. She's done that stress before. They're not going to, before they bite you, that's just their natural tendency is to tighten up, okay? She's really comfortable there right now.
Yeah, look at her.
Despite my conking her in the head, I've done her. They are not arboreal. They don't like to be in trees. However, you will see a climb, not just retrieve her from the climb. There's several reasons they can get in the climb. It might be cool, too cool for her down at the bottom. But the main reason we put it in there is for enrichment, because all animals need something to do. So if you move their stuff around, or if you give them something to do like climbing somewhere, those are all things that keep them busy and entertained. You go to the Georgia Aquarium, ask about the hammerhead shark. Say, the one that needed enrichment. It's their biggest hammerhead, and they couldn't find a place for him, and he kept playing with the fish. It was enrichment. He was creating his own. The fish didn't appreciate it. So it was just too chaotic, so they had to move him one where they could tolerate it better. So they get fed plenty. He's not hunting, but he is definitely, he puts them through the ringer. You haven't been entertained till you've seen him chasing them around. It's fun. But anyway, so Katie, who's taken over our animal care, she's really good at doing enrichment activities. So we kind of work together because I like to do a lot of natural escaping for them, but mine aren't too entertaining, and she definitely puts some really cool things in there that blend in, but give them stuff to do. Any questions about her? Stitches came from the fact that the woman who had her from a very young age, so if you can imagine, she was only about this big. She went across a piece of wood, it was raw wood. I'm sorry for doing that to you, Stitches. You're gonna get some rest before long. Yep, she got a little bit tighter, y'all see? Because I moved her too many times. So this wood had splinters in it, and literally one caught her, and their scales are tender on the bottom. In fact, this snake, do you want to feel it on her? It's really soft. This snake right here will not get cloudy eyes when she's about to be shed. She will do what's called pinking. And this will get all pink, rosy color down here. So she's just had a shed and she's nice and pure white. Anybody want to feel her belly? I got her head over here. You want to feel her belly right there?
Go ahead.
You want to feel her belly? Okay.
Where's, yes.
Yeah, just the
Right
white
here?
part. See how soft it is compared to the top? So,
Yep.
so she split open. She had to get a bunch of stitches. They are tender down there. That's their vulnerable areas down there. So. But they're ground dwellers, so it doesn't affect them too much because they're not in trees in Africa. They love to be in tight places, and they love to be in bogs. So, if y'all look it up, some YouTube stuff, videos, there's a guy that was doing a lot of research on, you know, the exotic pet industry and how it's affected these. There's actually places in Africa that there's one particular town or whatever you call it, city, state, township, that literally, they don't worship them, but they value them so highly. They have their own little like building, and it's illegal to kill them, it's illegal to move them, you don't harass them, and these snakes are all over the place. But they're so docile that in this video, this one particular guy is going through with them, and they're just picking them up. They're taking them off their nests. So a lot of this is during the day. They're either removing them from nests within a cavern or cave, or a hole, or they are just removing them from the hole. But they'll get under trees sometimes, but they're not going to nest in trees, and they're probably the only time that he showed them in trees